Good morning on this Labor Day morning. I hope your week has been going good. We had a great weekend of worship, and then our Zoom small group meeting was a good inspiration to us and a good time together, even though we're separated by physical presence. And my Labor Day is already off to a good start. I've been out to pick some tomatoes and bell peppers and jalapeno peppers and check on peaches and apples, both getting quite ready to pick. We need to get them picked before the raccoons or squirrels come and have their own banquet. So that's a project for later in the day. I have really enjoyed your discussions about the myths of belonging in small groups. Those you're talking great insights, and we're not talking different things. We're just talking about the need to have diverse opportunities to have a sense of belonging. And instead of saying, I'm going to put all my money in this one basket, the need to have multiple baskets. That's great. You raised some very valuable issues. Keep thinking on it. I am a firm believer in the importance and value of small group ministry if led by a competent leader who understands people as well as the material. Uh, there's a lot of dynamics in effectively leading a small group and stimulating uh, responsiveness on the part of others. So we move on this week to the whole matter of the importance of relationship in ministry. And the chart that we're going to be focusing on is a chart that I want you to think broadly. In the first, you will have one of 10 rooms that you're going to describe. In the second, you will have the kinds of rooms. And then in the third column, you can do all this by uh, tabbing it over, however you want to do it. Uh, Explain how those people can experience that. I'm going to give you a free one. I don't know what you call your place where you gather to worship, your sanctuary, your worship center, whatever. I believe all four levels can be experienced there. Number one, when I walk in as a visitor, is there a sense of welcome? For instance, yesterday our pastor greeted those of us who were gathered there in the sanctuary and those who were in other places within the building. He greeted those who were online. And then there's a church that they are seeking to work, establish, I guess I would say, in a poor section of town. And he greeted those people who were gathered at the Bloomington campus. Very gracious and welcoming. I felt welcome, even if I had been a first time visitor or if I'd been watching from my living room. He made me feel welcome. So I feel a public sense of welcome. I feel a sense of social welcome as people greet one another with masks on out as we enter or exit the sanctuary. There's a sense of personal belonging that is developing in our small group. And there can be an intimate belonging within that sanctuary as somebody sitting next to somebody else said, will you pray for me? And they spill their guts over their failure this week or failures in the past and ask somebody to pray for them. Or somebody who comes forward to talk to the pastor or spiritual leaders after the service. Or if your church is one who offers an altar call. That can be a time of intimacy, of counsel and prayer. So, for my chart, for sanctuary, I'd have all 4 levels of belonging, and you just heard my explanations. Okay, they don't need to be that long, but that's the idea as you work through the chart. And room XYZ is not used by the same people most of the time, is not used by the same group of people every time it's used. So, plenty to think about there, isn't it? Okay, and of course, our reading for this week is from Myers chapters 4 to 7, and our discussion is which of those 4 kinds of belonging do students experience in an online class? They will have different opinions about that, and it kind of depends upon the person. So recognize that. And then part of what I want us to be practical, okay, not theoretical. Yes, if we would have a prayer meeting every morning, we would develop a much closer personal relationship with one another, right? Would that prayer meeting every morning be a burden, or would it be an enhancement? Okay, is it realistic or just theoretical? So, think about that. Think about it honestly. That is this realistic? So, well, I've given you a lot of talk. I've talked too long. God bless you. You have a wonderful week.